If you're a PR pro and a mom, and you've ever had that feeling where you're scrolling on social media and you're flipping through Instagram or TikTok and you scroll past someone's, I just hit six figures in my first year post, and you feel that knot in your stomach, this episode is for you. Can we have a conversation about that? Because comparison, you've heard comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison in entrepreneurship is probably the most destructive force, especially for moms, especially for us, because social media creates this illusion that everyone has their shit together. Everyone is further ahead than you are. You see someone scaling their agency to 7 figures and you think, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do that? But what you don't see is what is happening behind the scenes for them. What is their childcare situation? Their partner's income? Maybe their debt. Maybe you have some and they don't. What hours are they working? Maybe it's a whole lot more than you. Maybe they're feeling burnout and they're not posting that on social media. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10, even if you're chapter 2, 3, or 4, that is going to break you every single time. We're scrolling on social and you might feel like you're staying informed and you're gathering information and you're just kind of looking at other people's content, feeling like maybe that's showing you what's possible. And I really do hope that you look at social media and that's the perspective you have. That's what I have. And if I feel that little like pit in my stomach when I'm looking at something, business related or, something that someone else is doing that I would want to be doing, or some success they're having in their business, that makes me feel envy, that jealous feeling, I stop and think about why, like, what is it? Because I don't feel that often. I usually get excited. Like, if they can do that, I can do it too, or, great for them. But I know kind of what goes into that. And there's a lot of work that doesn't feel like that's where I am in this kind of season of my life right now, but like great for them. And I'm like cheering them on. And that's also the benefit of having an incredible community like mine, is we get to, talk about what's possible and where we're having hiccups and kind of cheer each other on along the way. But when you are scrolling and you have that feeling where you're looking at someone's content and you feel like, well, I'm just staying informed about what's possible. I'm just gathering information. But you have that why them and not me, that's toxic. It's really toxic. It's poison. It functions to poison you every time. The numbers that people share online are almost always gross revenue, not profit. Let me say that again. People are not sharing their profit, especially in this digital marketing world, like the sort of like I have two sides of my business. I have Generation PR, which is my PR agency where we represent brands in the baby and kids and beauty and cosmetics spaces. Been running that business now 21 years. Before that, I was a civil litigation attorney. So this is my full second career, 2 decades in. And then about 10, actually more, probably about 12, 13 years ago, I started Generation Academy, which is the coaching side of my business, where I teach people how to connect with the media, how to convert pitches into press wins, how to make their clients famous, and then how to launch, grow, and scale profitable agencies. In the coaching world, the second part of my business, the numbers are kind of insane that people share, and it makes you feel like, why not me? I know my content is great. I know that the results and transformations that we're able to help people with are life-changing, so how are they having $1 million launches? Like, this is insane. But what you're not realizing is people are sharing their revenue, not net profit, not their, money that they take home at the end of the day after they have factored in all of their expenses. So you're not seeing real life. You're not getting the full picture. And every time I compare, we are discounting our own progress. And our progress matters. It's important for us to see and celebrate the incremental steps that we have along the way. Not just they always say it's like not just the destination, it's the journey. But that's really true. If you don't acknowledge those incremental steps, those successes, just today on a coaching call for our Agency Accelerator Mastermind, I had a member that in 1 week, because we meet weekly, which is so incredible to be able to see, first of all, see our members every single week and what they're able to accomplish, but like what they're doing from 1 week to the next, it's amazing. So one of our members found a designer, started building her website, got a headshot, picked her company name after searching for a very long time, set up her domain. Like, she is in business and she hung her shingle. We are celebrating all of those incremental wins because that's progress. That's what counts. Our paths to whatever outcome we're pursuing, even if it's a similar outcome to somebody that you're seeing online, it's going to look different. Not everybody has the same point A to point B path because our lives are different. Maybe you're building a little bit slower because you chose to be home with your kids and, to read to them, bathe them, tuck them in for bedtime when you have little ones at home. When I had my two sons, they were, 2 under 2, and I was nursing my younger son. I nursed my older son. That's very time consuming. You are like physically connected to another person that you are keeping alive with your body. It's kind of amazing, but that's going to take you out of the game a little bit. And it doesn't mean that you are less successful. That's intentional. Those are decisions you're making. You're putting that, choice, if that's what you choose to do. Of course, if you bottle feed, whatever, like do all the things. I don't care. I just, do what makes you happy. I'm not preaching any sort of one path or another in terms of how to feed your children. I'm just saying, if you choose to tuck your kids in at bedtime or to nurse or to be room mom or to be an art docent at your kid's school or to chair the gala committee or whatever, those are choices that you're making. That's the kind of business that I want, is to be able to build something that allows me to make those choices if that's what I want, not one that makes me have to hustle harder all the time. These are intentional decisions. Maybe you have fewer clients because you're also managing a household. There might be other special needs situations, a school schedule that, is really busy for your kids. You're shuttling them to different activities. I love that for you. I hope your kids have a lot of interests. We are just now, with my kids being teens, starting to see them really take some interests and have after school stuff that they're excited about, which is really awesome. It's time consuming, picking them up and making arrangements and doing all the things. And, that means your day ends a little earlier. Maybe you pick back up after hours. I have a whole other thought around working after hours and not sending emails to clients because I don't want to train them to think that I'm available after hours. I'm going to be available during working hours, even though I might choose to work late because it's quiet and I can think. But I don't want my clients to think, oh, she's up late, she's working, she must be accessible all the time, because those are not healthy boundaries. So just keep that in mind too. But choosing these things, doesn't even mean you have to have kids. You could want to walk your dog every day. I do that. That is definitely a priority for me. Every morning, I know I want to get in my 10,000 steps. So that's 5 miles. I walk my dog 3 miles. She heard me say the W word and just popped up her head thinking that we're going, but we are not. But then I get another 2 miles just kind of walking around in my garden or walking around, if I'm at the grocery store. I also have a walking pad under my desk, so I can get 10,000 steps every day. But the foundation of that is walking my dog every day. So I do not schedule meetings before 9:30, usually before 10 a.m., because I want to walk my dog, get home, get ready, and then I don't want to be rushed, because that is a priority, right? That doesn't make you less than. It makes you a woman who knows what she wants, who knows her priorities. And personally, my business didn't just explode overnight. I built it around my kids' needs, and those change. They're teenagers now. I have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. Their needs, their demands on my time definitely change as they get older. But that is the beauty of having your own business, where you can set it up in a way that serves the kind of life that you want to have and build it around that life so that your business gives you that flexibility and freedom to be able to only work with clients you love, you're fully like obsessed with, and you are just really excited about supporting them, and they pay well and they value you and appreciate your expertise, and you don't have to run yourself ragged trying to build something all hours of the day. If you want to also have the flexibility of being present for the activities that literally like lift you up and give you life, right? Why go out of your way to build a business that is all about just chasing like a number, a revenue number, some target, just because when that doesn't even give you, like, to me, a rich life is so much more than that. So yeah, um, you know, I want us to be intentional about what we're allowing in as we're searching on social or scrolling. You think it's mindless, but it kind of isn't. It could be really toxic. So let's reclaim our confidence. It starts by unfollowing anyone who makes you feel behind. I hope that's not me. I hope that I help make you see what is possible. And I hope you feel welcome and a sense of camaraderie and connection. That's what I'm going for. I'm never here to be like, look at me, look what I got. No, that's not the vibe. I want to empower everyone that, is interested in building the kind of business that I have, because it has been such a gift for me, compared to being a litigator. Oh my gosh, night and day. Just the ability to, I garden. I do like all this stuff, I like really enjoy, kind of bopping around the house and doing whatever, baking and organizing and gardening and painting. And, I'm like, whatever old lady I do, sourdough, like any old lady hobby you can think of, count me in. Okay. Not ashamed. But that makes me feel fulfilled. And that's what I want to share. I want to welcome people in to our, world who feel inspired by that, who know that they can have it all, if that's what that looks like to you. So hopefully I'm not an unfollow, but other people that make you feel behind, go in and just unfollow. Don't even think twice about it. I'm totally serious. You should do it today. Create your own scoreboard. What actually matters to you? Is it a number that's like what they share that makes you feel like, oh, well, if they're doing that, I should probably do it too? Create your own metrics, your own personal KPIs, your key performance indicators. What are the things that are going to prove to you that you have fulfillment, that you are, lit up and empowered and feeling just alive in your business and your life? Those are the metrics and the vanity numbers and the KPIs that I want you to create. That's your own scoreboard. What really matters to you? And of course, celebrate your real wins, even the ones that nobody would post about. Somebody's posting something about, I don't know, people posting new cars and, hitting certain milestones in revenue and landing certain clients. And, that's great. Not everything qualifies for social media posting, but still deserves to be acknowledged and celebrated. Any little thing you do. If you've been putting off a hard conversation and you finally had it, celebrate that. If you've been working on a proposal for a client and you finally hit send, and that number in there, that's your rate, is scary to actually put out into the world, and you second guess the number that you put in there, and you lowered it, and then you raised it, and then you lowered it again, and then you finally put it back, and you said, okay, I'm putting this out there. and you're asking for the rate that you deserve, even if the client says no, celebrate the fact that you sent that. You put that out into the world and you said, this is the value that I provide. This is what I'm worth. That's a huge accomplishment. I want to repeat that again. I don't care if the client doesn't accept the rate. Maybe the next one won't also, but somebody will, because they will see that you are the expert. You are the go-to authority that they are looking for to help them achieve a certain outcome. And that is valuable to them. And they are willing to pay the value that you assign to those outcomes that you put in your proposal. And the fact that you are owning it and saying, this is what I'm worth, that is worth celebrating. That's worth celebrating, you know? Find a community that celebrates your wins, your approach, your pace, not a universal one that's like certain benchmarks that should be achieved in a certain time. Find a community that is going to lift you up and allow you to see the growth that you are having, the growth that is possible for you. And even just the success of where you are in the moment without needing or wanting more, right? Just even making the decision that you're going to go out on your own and do your own thing, putting yourself out there, that is worth celebrating. So I want you to repeat after me. If you're driving, say it in your car. If you're listening on a walk, I'm in your earbuds, say it out loud. People think you're on a phone call. I am not behind. I'm building something different. I'm building something that matters to me. So the business built over 5 years while you are present for your kids is worth infinitely more than one built in a year while you miss every single thing that matters in your life. If you need people around you who actually celebrate your pace, your version of success, your vision for yourself and your business, that's the community that we have built inside of Generation Academy, in my programs, Agency Accelerator, and in the Pitch Lab, my Powerhouse Pros community. You don't have to do this alone. We are here to support you. We are here to celebrate you. And it's not about comparison. It's about camaraderie. And it is one of the coolest things that I've ever experienced in my life when I get to engage with this community that somehow found me on the internet. I am so grateful for them. And every time we connect, I'm astounded at how valuable the calls are, how valuable the insights are. And even if you're raising your hand and you're like, things are not clicking, let's have a discussion, and you get like a hot seat coaching with everybody following along and giving you advice and helping you through challenges, that's priceless. And the cool thing is that everyone learns from your raising your hand for that support. So if you are feeling alone, and I have to say, I did it for so many years on my own. I had a team and they're remote, but before I had my community, I was always like, I don't know how people are doing things. Like, how do people price their services? I'm just guessing. What do people put in a proposal? How do you find clients? Like, where are these clients all hanging out? I had no idea. When you have a community, we're sharing all of this great information so you don't have to spin your wheels, but they're also cheering you on and celebrating you and making sure that if you're like, am I the crazy one? This client did this, that, and the other thing. Like, this is crazy, right? And you're like, yeah, they're nuts. Girl, I got you. Like, that's crazy. And we help you through that challenge. That support is priceless. And that's what we do. We cheer you on. You can learn more about those programs, and they're exceptional. And I stand behind that. Like, best out there, with thousands and thousands of testimonials, unsolicited, which is the coolest thing too. People are like, let me tell you how your program has changed my life and changed my business. That's incredible. If you want to learn more about how to get that level of kind of support and community, camaraderie, compassion and coaching, all the C words, right? Go to generationacademy.com. And we also have this really cool premium positioning audit, do yourself a favor and grab it, because it is like really going to help you see where you can adjust your messaging, your positioning, in about 5 minutes, and finally see why premium clients might not be finding you and what exactly you should focus on to change that. We are going to give you this premium positioning audit. It's totally free. It takes you like 5 minutes. It's really good. That's at generationacademy.com/audit. And let's get you some premium clients, because you know what? It's a lot better to have 5 really amazing, high-paying clients who value your expertise, who trust you, who know they made the right decision hiring you, than 15 little BS, blood-sucking, junky clients that you have to over-deliver. There's scope creep. They're breathing down your neck. You see an email from them and you just go, ugh, I don't want you to have any clients like that. That's not why we have our own businesses. We have businesses that allow us to choose who we work with. And I want you to choose clients that value you and the expertise you bring to the table, pay you according to that value, and trust you enough to just let you do your thing, give you that space. I don't want to be micromanaged. No, thank you. So taking this premium positioning audit at generationacademy.com/audit will help you see where you can improve some of your, client-facing stuff in order to land more premium clients. We want to get you those good clients so that you never have to scroll on social again and feel less than because somebody else has achieved some number that's probably not even an accurate number. We're not going to compare anymore. Delete anyone on social who makes you feel yuck. Just bye. Yeah, it's not mindless scrolling. It can be toxic, and we want to not allow that into our lives. So I hope this helps. I hope you find a little bit of inspiration, and I want you to celebrate one win, like the smallest win you can think of. Like a tiny little something, like you made an appointment for the dentist that you've been putting off, or you meant to get a new dog leash because this is what I have to do and I've been putting it off. My dog ripped her retractable leash and right now it's tied together, and I just know the second she sees a squirrel, she's going to take off and the leash is going to rip again, and that's not safe. So I need to just go to Amazon. It takes, 4 minutes. Celebrate it. Any little thing that you do, acknowledge that you're making progress. Acknowledge that you have momentum on your side. And let's celebrate the big wins and small. Come join us, Generation Academy, and learn all about the Agency Accelerator and that free resource, the generationacademy.com/audit. That will really help you. So go grab it and go out there and crush it this week. I'll be over here crushing it too, and I'll see you next week on Pitching Powerhouse. Bye-bye.